Hello, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast. I'm so sorry about all of the issues with the audio on Father Dan's side. It's all good. We're going to reschedule the theology of the body video, but I still wanted to come and give you guys a live stream because I think that that's fun, and I enjoy doing these types of things with you guys. And so today we're going to be talking about why you guys should be deleting TikTok because TikTok has been something that's been on my mind for a very long time. And I think at this point, everyone knows what TikTok is. And there are those who might not be on it, or there's those who are like addicted to it. I don't think there's anyone really in between. And I used to be one of those. In fact, my ministry got started on TikTok before I got permanently banned last year. And when I got permanently banned last year, that was like a whole thing. I remember TikTok just causing a huge mental illness basically in my life in a sense. Like it was just causing so many issues and so much just anxiety and trying to keep up with the latest trends, trying to do what everyone else was doing. And then of course, it just really impacts your mental health having to scroll through everything continuously. They make it very addictive. And so by making it addictive, it's very hard for you to stop scrolling. And that's why so many people are like sleep deprived because they scroll until 3 a.m. And that's why we have issues with, young people, having issues with suicidal thoughts and things like that because of the fact that they're on social media and also on TikTok. Sometimes those videos just automatically pop up. It's really, really sad. But anyways, before we get started with all of that, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform. And today, as I said, we are going to be talking about the crisis of TikTok because it's insane. But also, my mug, my St. Jude prayer mug, just went live on my store today. You guys can purchase that at thereligioushippie.com. Also, all of our items on the store have shipping included. So that's why the prices have changed. That's why we're doing it that way, is because the shipping prices are now included in the item. So you don't have to pay for shipping. It's already included in the price. I just wanted to throw that out there because people were a little bit confused about why the prices changed. The prices are just changed with shipping included. So just wanted to let you guys know that you guys can purchase one at thereligioushippie.com. But yeah, so my own story of, TikTok. Like I said, it was causing a lot of mental health issues in my life. And it was just trying to keep up with the trends, trying to look like the other girls on there, the pressure to, the pressure to become like similar to like the influencers on there. Yes, we can ship to the UK. Um, and also if you join the book club, you get 10% off the mug. So you guys should sign up for the book club not the book club, the prayer club, the prayer group, which is really fun. It's a St. Jude prayer group where we come together and we pray, and it's just a wonderful time. And so it's over Zoom. So if you guys want, you can sign up for that on my website under the events tab. So yeah, you guys can do that. Sorry, I know I'm a little scatterbrained. I wasn't expecting to do this video today. So please bear with me as I kind of get my thoughts in order and I try to compile them. So back to my own story of TikTok. I was on TikTok. That's where my ministry was started. It started basically overnight because I uploaded this one video after coming back into my faith. It was me holding my rosary and some Chick-fil-A. It really wasn't anything substantial, but it blew up overnight. Everybody loved it and they wanted to share their own story. I got a lot of hate from it too, but like that's to be expected because it's an online platform, social media, that's just the way that things are. And from there, like I gained thousands and thousands of followers, and then I branched off onto Instagram and then eventually YouTube because people wanted longer length formatted videos. And so my own story of that comes in after like a year or two of being on TikTok, and it was starting to really affect my mental health because of the fact that, you have to keep up, you have to look like those people, you have to keep up with the trends, you constantly have to post, otherwise you lose followers, or, also the hate, like just consistent hate on the platform was getting to me. And I'm not one that really looks at comments or anything, but some people can be very crude and cruel on that app. And so it I don't know why I just muted me. Um, so it just was not a great environment when it comes to the mental health area. And so I took it to adoration after a while, and I kind of was just like, okay, like, God, if this is something you don't want me to do, or if there's some social media app that's keeping me from you, or if there's something going on that like you don't want me to be a part of, like take it away from me. And then on my birthday, on the hour I was born, so April 8th at 8:08, I was permanently banned from TikTok. There were some things that they flagged on my TikTok page, but they were all about my animals, and they said it went against their community guidelines for like harassment or something, which didn't make any sense because all the videos were of like my snake or our chickens. None of the actual religious videos were flagged that I made. And so it's just one of those things that I was like, okay, clearly, like this was God's doing because it was on my birthday. And it just didn't make any rational sense as to why TikTok would ban me permanently from some animal videos, especially with the usual videos that do end up being on their platform. You know what I'm talking about, those types of videos, and they never take those down, but for some reason my videos are flagged. And they weren't even the religious ones, which is why I was like, okay, well, that is what it is. Um, so that's kind of like my own personal story of what it was like to be on TikTok. And honestly, it is addicting. It really, really is, because you constantly want to scroll through stuff. You constantly want to keep up with people and what they're doing, and you feel jealous and you have FOMO because you feel like you're missing out and others people's lives are so much more interesting than yours. And it's just a really, really terrible place to be, especially if you're a teenager. Um, so yeah, it's not the vibe. So anyways, getting into the nitty-gritty of TikTok was launched in August of 2018, and I remember hearing about it because I remember talking about how TikTok was replacing Musical.ly, which was something I was on at the time. It was like a music version of Vine. It was really cringy, but I love it. Like, it was so good. But there was a huge uproar about that, and I remember that happening when I was younger. But it settled down after people like actually realized what the app was, and then they all like flocked to the Addictive app. They were just like, boom, I need to be on here, you know? Um, and I got on the app shortly after it was created and launched, but I barely used it because I just decided to be a viewer. I didn't really make any content on it. I didn't really have anything to post at the time, so I enjoyed just looking at what other people were posting, and it really filled my days. Like, I spend so much time scrolling through TikTok. And I remember at one point, TikTok actually popped up on my screen being like, you need to take a break because you've been scrolling for like 5 hours. And so I was like, oh, that might be a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. But anyways, so when I came back into my faith about, a year later, I was looking for young, like-minded Catholics who went through like a similar experience of coming back to their faith after being away for like almost a decade. And I found nobody, actually. All I saw were like older guys talking about apologetics, and no hate to them. I think that they're great. But as a teen, I wanted somebody my age, someone I could relate to, someone who went through what I went through and was talking about it on social media. And I didn't really find anyone like that. And so I decided to become that person for other people who might be going through, something similar. And so then I got on TikTok and began posting about my faith. That's where that first video kind of came in place. And then that's where the religious hippie was basically birthed, is on TikTok, which is really sad. It's like in the ghetto. It was birthed in the ghetto. Now, I didn't really go into this thinking that I would be where I am today. And it's all in God's work. And it did begin with me wanting to share my faith with others. And like I said, it kind of just blew up overnight, which was something that I was not expecting. And it's something that I continue just kind of working through because it is kind of still a shock in a sense, even though it's been 3 years. It's just crazy to me that it's become what it is today, because I never would have imagined that. But I always had like that love-hate relationship with TikTok. Like, I would always put up content, I always had drafts ready to publish, I had skits I'd worked out, and I spent hours upon hours of, like, scrolling through TikTok itself, just to get inspiration, honestly. Like, you want to get inspiration, and I gained over, 100,000 followers, but, then I got banned, so, it was one of those moments. But I got a lot of hate, and so I do believe that not everyone who follows you because they like you. I do think a lot of people do follow people on social media just to post hate about them. It's very interesting to see that side of stuff. But that definitely wrecked my mental health for a while, until I decided to stop reading my comments. And then my best friend Chloe, of course, can attest to that because she was the one who was reading my comments. And TikTok just consumed a huge part of my life. It really did. If I wasn't recording something for TikTok, I felt like I wasn't being productive. If I wasn't keeping up with the latest trends, I wasn't staying relevant. And if, it just consumed my every waking moment, and I found it hard to do, to find time for other things. Um, and so that was just really, really difficult for me to work through. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I had to work through. But, after God took away TikTok from me, my mental health like greatly improved. And so did my productivity. Like, I was able to put my time and effort towards other things like exercise, which is something I love doing, working on my ministry, putting out merch for you guys and other content on other platforms like this. In that area. And so that's just something that I realized I needed to do, was kind of cut out TikTok, but I knew that I couldn't do it on my own because I was really weak. And so I asked God to do it instead, and he did. So that's great. Honestly, God will provide. He will help you through things if you ask him to. Also, peep at the St. Jude mug. We love him. He's great. 10 out of 10. You can buy him on my store. They just dropped today at thereligioushippie.com. And if you sign up for the prayer group, the St. Jude prayer group under the events tab on my website, you can get 10% off your mug. So yeah. Anyways, so I know that TikTok can be like a lot of fun. We all know that it can be very addicting, but there are also serious risks associated with using the app that I think everybody should be aware of, because I wasn't aware of these. And I think because I wasn't aware of this until, like, in retrospect, until later, I didn't realize the impact it really had on me. And so, first of all, there are the privacy concerns, right? There's privacy concerns where TikTok collects data, and there have been concerns about the app like sharing that data with the Chinese government. I know this was a huge thing. India's already banned TikTok due to the privacy concerns, and I honestly don't think that I honestly do think the United States isn't far behind. They've kind of talked about it already. I do think that eventually TikTok will be banned. Um, and you might be asking, like, what could TikTok possibly be tracking about me? Here we go. Okay, TikTok tracks your personal contacts, if you allow it, your exact location and IP address, your birthday, your private messages, web pages you visit outside of TikTok, what you watch on YouTube, your email and or phone number, accounts you follow, and like so much more. And honestly, I don't really want people to know where I live and the IP address. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in like 2020, 2020, I think it was, like right before the pandemic, there was all of these issues of people getting doxxed and like their IP address being shared with people, and people like actually having to go into hiding because of it. TikTok was recently banned in Montana. No way. Really? Props to Montana, man. I would definitely do that. But a lot of people also like to say that like Facebook and other social media apps do the same thing, and that's true. And sure, it's, not great, but they don't track things to the degree that TikTok tracks us. and it's like and it's linked to like the Chinese government and stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I would not want to be a part of that personally. I don't think we need our information going to China. I don't think that we need any of that. And also just in general, TikTok's horrible, so you shouldn't need TikTok. Just saying. Secondly, there's like the issue of inappropriate content. We've all been through this where we're just scrolling on TikTok on our For You page, and all of a sudden a twerking teenager pops up, or an inappropriate dancing person pops up, or something pops up that's inappropriate. And TikTok's been criticized for hosting videos that promote dangerous challenges, bullying, self-harm, and also let us not forget the scandal involving the Tide Pod challenge or the more recent milk crate challenge. Teens and young adults are literally putting their lives at risk for a chance to go viral on TikTok for 60 seconds of fame. If you guys don't know what the milk crate challenge is, it's literally kids or teens piling up as much milk crates as they can and climbing on top of them. Now, this is something I did in Girl Scouts, but we were hooked up with a harness. There was a harness on us and someone was belaying us from the other side, so in case we fell, somebody caught us. And you tried to get as high as you can. Now, kids are doing this, but without a belayer, so people are literally falling and like breaking bones and going to the hospital because they're trying to get their 60 seconds of fame on this stupid app. Like, it's just so crazy to me. Like, is it really worth it? I want to know. Like, do you guys think it's worth it? Because I don't think it is, personally. And I know you guys are like-minded like me, so you guys don't think it is either. But then, there's also that issue of inappropriate underage content that pops up a lot, where underage girls are dancing provocatively. They're being praised for it by strangers on this app. Like, this is literally probably one of the worst places to be for kids and things because of the fact that there's so many predators on this app. And I want to know where these kids' parents are. Like, seriously, I want to know who gave them the phone with unlimited, access to the internet. I want to know who is in charge of this child who are doing these things. Like, does nobody care? I mean, I know kids are sneaky, but kids aren't that sneaky. Parents can find things if they really try. Um, anyway, and it's also been proven that like TikTok will put self-harm videos and depression videos on young people's For You pages. And it's shown that TikTok has impacted like most teens very negatively in their mental health. And so it's just, the TikTok algorithm. Why would you do that? Honestly, except it makes people dependent on the app, right? It's very, very interesting. And because the TikTok algorithm can present an endless stream of content, which can lead to spending too much time on the app, neglecting other important activities, even taking care of yourself, showering and things like that. Like, have you guys ever found yourself scrolling through TikTok for hours without realizing it? Because I know I have. I definitely know that I have done that. And I want to know if you guys have had the same experience, because it's crazy to me how we can spend so much time on an app and not even realize how much time has gone by. Um Perfect. Yeah, never, if you don't have TikTok, never get on it. I haven't used the app since I was banned last year in April, and it's been a godsend because it's just so amazing not to have um that just constant like addictive app. I don't know. Like, I would say Instagram and other apps are also addictive, but TikTok's one that's like the highest addicting in my opinion. Mikey has, I'm sure many of you guys have. And it's just something that I think we need to realize. Ivan has, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. And TikTok's format of shorter videos has been associated with the decrease in attention spans, especially when the app is used for more than 90 minutes a day. I guarantee you, most people using this app are not doing it for only 2 hours a day. Like, I guarantee you, or like an hour and a half, I guess, technically. I guarantee you that people use this app for hours on average. And it's also worth noting that over 60% of TikTok users are Gen Z. So that's like an age, my goodness, an age range. I'm sorry, I'm still sick. Between 11 and 26, I believe, is Gen Z, which means their brains are still developing until they reach the age of 25. So most of these people, their brains aren't even fully developed yet. My brain isn't even fully developed yet. I'm 24, and yet these young people are getting on this app and it's creating this attention span crisis. This is why kids are having a hard time focusing in school and they can only do, and they want to do like 4 million things at once and they're isolated, but they're overstimulated, creates behavioral issues. It's insane. It's insane the spiral it can go down. But according to a psychologist, Jean Twenge, I think I said that right, she stated that excessive use of social media, including TikTok, is linked to depression, and it's a significant problem amongst teenagers. Many teens report intending to spend a short amount of time on the app, only to end up spending much longer than they planned. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? See, it's so funny that you bring that up, Phantom, Falsetto, because of the fact that millennials were on Vine, and Vine was completely different. I honestly miss Vine. I still watch rewatches of Vine because to me, that was hilarious. Whatever TikTok is not the same. People like to say that TikTok is the modern day Vine, but I think they're completely different personally. So, millennials are probably still on Vine, but I mean, Vine, didn't Elon Musk say he was going to bring Vine back? I thought that was something he was going to do, but not, yeah, I don't remember, but I'm just saying. Um, but another thing to consider is also the comparison and self esteem. So, especially for me, when I was on the app, I compared myself to the other girls on that app, what their lifestyle was like, what their bodies looked like, how their makeup was, like how gorgeous they were. And it was really bad for my self esteem. Like my confidence just tanked. And with so many users on the app itself, there can be a lot of pressure to present this perfect image of yourself and to keep up with the latest trends, like I mentioned earlier, or even put like your life at risk for 60 seconds of fame. And this can lead to increased feelings of inadequacy, of low self-esteem, injury, and depression, anxiety, FOMO, the list goes on. And it's hard to say that TikTok is the only app to blame because I do believe that anyone under the age of 18 should not be on any type of social media. That's my personal opinion. However, I do think TikTok is the worst app to be on for people who struggle with mental illness and mental health problems. Um, and also, the research has shown that social media use in general can contribute to feeling of loneliness and social isolation. And although TikTok is designed to connect users with others who share their exact interests and things like that, it's important to remember that the connections made through social media may not always be meaningful or fulfilling as those made in real life. Like that's the whole scam of social media, is that they're like, oh, it's social. So it's social, but it's a shell of being social because we're still isolated and there's no real connection, with somebody on a screen. We need those in person interactions. And I have plenty of internet friends, but my internet friends do not even come close in comparison to the friends that I have in real life. Like Chloe and Francesca and Lizzie, all of those people are so close and dear to my heart. And as much as I do love the friends that I've made over the internet, like Anne Marie and all of those people, I love them dearly, but I do not have as close of a relationship with them due to the fact that I do not see them in person. And that's something that social media likes to tell us all the time, is that, oh, it's social and you can make these internet friends and it's the exact same. No, we need that social interaction. We need to know how to react with people in real life. And that's something that social media takes away from us. So yeah. And also CNN, I want you guys to look into this. I will post, where is it? I will post the video in the comments. I'm sorry. I don't know why it keeps muting me. Anyways, so CNN went undercover on a teen's TikTok to see exactly what teens were being exposed to on the app, and it's shocking. You guys, I'll link the video here. I'll send it to you right now. There we go. You guys can save it for later. You guys can save that for later. But basically, the it includes it included videos of self-harm, suicide, eating disorders, and sexual content. It's absolutely disgusting. So I linked that. Please watch it later. But it's just absolutely crazy to me that, you know, a teenager could be scrolling on TikTok and see like puppies or this or that, and it's fine, it's great. And then all of a sudden, like sexual content comes up, or you know, suicidal content, or something along those lines, and it's absolutely disgusting. I highly suggest you watch the video I linked with discretion, as it's really not for the faint of heart. But CNN did go undercover and actually looked at what teens were being exposed to. So that's just, again, something that I highly suggest you guys look into, because it truly is disheartening, you know, to see what younger generations are being exposed to. And now we're going to get into the part of the discussion that I hate the most, but I think is the most important. And that is, it's really dark. So please use your discretion if this is something you're not comfortable with. But people have died from TikTok challenges. Actual deaths have occurred because of the app. And I'm going to get into some of those for you. I'm trying not to be too gory about them at all. But if it's something you're not comfortable with, it's okay to click away. So a 13-year-old named Jacob died recently in Ohio after participating in the Benadryl challenge on TikTok, and he was on a ventilator for a week before passing away. The Benadryl challenge is where teenagers take as much Benadryl as they can to get high off of it, basically. And he was on a ventilator, and then he passed away, which is very sad. He was only 13 years old. The sadder ones, like not sadder, but just the more tragic, you know, is just the fact that they died. You know, it's so sad. And because of TikTok. 10-year-old Nyla Anderson, 9-year-old Arani, and 10-year-old Antonella, and 15 others aged 12 or younger have died after attempting the blackout challenge. For those who don't know what the blackout challenge is, it's where participants hold their breath or they choke themselves using household items until they pass out. And why do they do this? I don't know. I have no idea why. Sometimes I wonder where their parents are. But then again, you know, it's just so sad that these kids are being exposed to this, and this is something that they want to do. You know, it's just that they just think, oh yeah, choking myself with a household item is something I want to do. Why? I want to know why. Anyway, so this is really, really sad, obviously, and I'm not surprised. But I am surprised that this app has not been shut down yet because of the deaths. You know, and I think that the cons outweigh the pros in this app. And so I'm hoping that the government will take important action and actually ban it in the United States. And I feel so bad for all of these families. Please pray for the repose of the souls of these children and anyone who has lost their lives because of a TikTok challenge or because of mental illness, and for their families. Because it's just truly sad. And I was listening to a segment on Relevant Radio. I forget when this was, but basically, Timmery, I always listen to Trending with Timmery. I've had her on my podcast before in season 2. You guys should go check her out. She's awesome. But I was listening to her, and she brought somebody on who talked about the dangers of giving your children cell phones. She talked about how she had to reclaim her children from their cell phones after she gave them cell phones when they were about like 13. And she said that her daughter specifically was on Instagram or TikTok or some type of app and came across basically pornography. It wasn't even in her own, search. It wasn't even something she searched. It just popped up right on her For You page. And she was so ashamed and she thought she did something wrong and she would get in trouble for it. So she didn't say anything to her mother. And that is how social media gets kids addicted to pornography and all of these issues, is that they make them afraid and ashamed, and so they won't go to their parents when they do come across these things because they're afraid of punishment. They're afraid to get their phones taken away. And honestly, I don't think kids should have phones. I think that a flip phone is fine, but I personally do not believe that any child under the age of 18 should have social media, because after they're 18, they're technically adults, but they should not have access to social media until they're 18, in my opinion. And so that's something that always stuck with me, where it was like, these children are seriously so ashamed of themselves, because even though they didn't do anything wrong, these things are being pushed on them from social media and they don't know what to do about it, and it's just so, so sad. And so I highly suggest, if you are a parent, please monitor your child's involvement on social media. If they're on social media, get them off social media. A lot of parents are so afraid because they're like, well, I don't want my child to hate me. I don't want this or that. Let your child hate you for a little bit, because they'll be better off in the long run. Trust me. Yes, they might be missing out, but they're going to be missing out on things that are going to be detrimental to their mental health and their health in general. And especially when you go, like when I didn't have a phone and I had friends, I didn't get a phone until I was like 14 maybe, but nonetheless, I wasn't really allowed on social media. And I didn't have Twitter, I didn't have TikTok. Or TikTok wasn't a thing when I was 14, but I didn't have most of the apps. I think I only had Instagram, and even then I wasn't really on it a whole bunch because I didn't see the point. But when I told my friends that, I was like, oh, sorry, I don't have Snapchat, and they were just like, oh, you're so lucky that you're not addicted. These kids know that they're addicted to it, but they don't know how to stop. And you, as the parent, it is your responsibility to help them with healthy habits, whether that means you have to take their phone away. And remember, you pay for that phone. You're the parent. You have that ability to do that. They are underage. They're not 18. You have the ability to be a parent, and you should take that ability seriously. And so that's something that I always try to tell parents, is like, you are in control. You really are. And you need to teach your children how to deal with pornography and things when they come in contact with it, because it's not if anymore, it's when. And kids like earlier and earlier. Now the age of being introduced to pornography, it used to be 12 to 14 for men or for boys and girls. Now it's 7 to 8 years old. 7 to 8 years old. That is absolutely ridiculous. So I highly, highly suggest parents, please monitor your children. If they're 18 and up, I mean, you can still offer advice and do things to help them. But if you are still the parent of an underage child, please, please do your due diligence and research these apps and know what they look like, because there are also apps out there that are hidden. They look like calculators. They look like a note app. And in reality, it's a different type of app. It's a texting app. It's something else. So please, please do your due diligence. But with all that being said, guys, that is it for this live stream. I hope you guys got something out of it. I'm sorry the beginning was a little bit rough. I was a little bit scatterbrained, just trying to figure out exactly how I wanted this to go, because I'm still kind of new to live streaming. But I definitely want to do more of these because I think they're beneficial and I can actually interact with you guys in real time. But yeah, so anyways, yes, Carson, TikTok is lame. 10 out of 10. I agree. The microphone I use is a Blue Yeti microphone. They're about like 90 bucks on Amazon, I think. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I really enjoy them. So thank you so much, Diana. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all of you guys who hopped on here and like listened to me rant about TikTok, because it's one of those things that has kind of taken our nation by storm. And so you guys should be the ones against it and promoting against it and not be on it, because it truly is just a horrible, horrible app. And yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye, guys. God bless. Oops, I did not press that right. Okay, guys, bye.